Welcome back to the morning show on XL7 TV. It's time for This Week in Real Estate with Bob Zdora of the Z Team, Century 21 LeMac Realty. How are you, sir?
I'm great.
Just another wonderful day in the Ozarks.
Aren't they all?
Little
Even no matter how bad the weather gets, there are no bad days. Because we're still here.
Well, you're right. We could be in worse places.
Yes, indeed. It might be kind of hard to get the tractor going to get the grass cut and stuff, but it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
There's worse places you could be cutting grass.
Or not cutting at all.
That's right.
Which is what I've been not doing for a long time.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. You're right.
A lot of rain. We've had 30 inches of rain plus in the month of May, but you know what? It's okay.
Wow.
It'll all be all right.
Although I've seen some bales out and stuff. I mean, there's
Finally, and that was my biggest worry. You know, my grass I'll cut it. It's no big deal. But my big worry was with the price of diesel and the price of gas the way it is, the cost to get a bale of hay out of the field.
Yeah.
I was talking to some hay farmers 2 weeks ago, and I said, what do you think the price of hay will be out of the field this year? And they said if it gets to the projection by the end of June for diesel, $6 a gallon, we're looking at $60 to $65 a bale just to get it out of the field. That's no profit built into it at all.
And what was it last year? Ballpark.
We paid $35 to $40.
Okay. All right. That's an appreciable difference.
Yeah. And a big portion of that difference is the cost of fertilizer.
Right.
To be able to fertilize those fields. You know, people think, well, they just cut the hayfield. Well, there's a lot of prep work that has to happen to that hayfield in order for it to be cut.
You don't just leave it there and it just grows up all on its own.
You got to take care of the weeds before they start to grow. Then you got to fertilize the grass so it will assist the growth, and it's a different thing.
Sure.
You know, and if you're not from here and you don't understand hay, when you go see a guy and he's parking his tractor on the side of the thing because he's done for the day, go talk to him for 10 or 15 minutes. Farming hay is an actual thing. It's not just Farmer Joe cutting grass for his cows.
Yeah.
Being a hay farmer is a real deal. I know a gentleman that cuts about 3,500 round bales a year, a cutting.
Wow.
It's big business.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But it takes a lot of money to make that happen.
Yeah.
So, a little bit different.
Yeah.
How's things in the real estate world?
Settling down. It's not as frantic as it had been.
Okay, now, we've been doing this show together since April 1st.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Every week we get together, we talk about it. My first question is, how's things in the real estate business? And your answer always is, settling down.
Well, no.
What does
the economy's
mean?
changed. The economy. Well, because you're not seeing a house coming up and getting 4 or 5 offers, right away. You're not seeing, stuff that's priced well and presented well. Not every house came up and had 4 or 5 offers on it. Not as many multiple offer situations as we were seeing before.
But the market is still as busy as it's been. But
it's
not
slow when you look at the numbers and you talk to the bankers.
Coming back a little bit.
And the number of available properties is coming up. The number of loan applications is down. Those are 2 big tells.
Does that mean closing dates are getting more realistic?
Closing dates are the closing dates are backing up a little bit, although they can get them done quickly. Because they're the closing companies and the appraisers, they're not doing refis. Who's going to refi at 5 3/4? 5.5? Nobody. You'll stay with what you got. You're kicking yourself in the butt that you didn't go to when you had a chance to get one at 3, but nobody's refining. So there's a big void in there. That's allowing the process to speed up a little bit for getting things closed. It's good for sellers and buyers. The number of properties that are coming on the market, staying on the market a little longer, the number of properties where we're seeing price reductions is up by a lot, and it's up nationwide by a lot. Those people that are realistic about where this market is and where it's going to be for a while, the market's not going to get better if you're a seller. We've had a seller's market now for the past couple of years. We're going to swing back away from that to a more historical buyer's market here in this area. I think that because of that, those people who want to get in front of and get sold, That's where you're seeing the price reductions. And people that think, well, we'll just wait. We had multiple offers before, and that'll happen again.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. And you're going to be stuck there. So, worst places to be stuck, yes. But if you had other plans, we were going to move to wherever, because that's where our final resting place is going to be, or we're going to go back with the kids, whatever the case may be. To take advantage of that now is what you're going to have to do. So you're going to have to take a little less for the house, and other markets are doing the same thing. That's why not as many people are coming here, because they're not getting as much for those houses. And in the bigger markets where the prices are much higher than we have here. I had mentioned once before, a price of a $300,000 house under the same circumstances of the same down payment, the same closing costs, everything else. From January 1st to now, it's like $700 difference because of the interest rates. Mm-hmm. And it dipped into the high fours last week, but it went up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's gone up, and we're at like 5, 6, 7. That's an appreciable amount of money if you were at a 3, and you're almost doubling that. And that's what's good. That's what's slowing down the economy. That's what's going to put the brakes on it. That's how they're going to try to handle inflation. How successful they'll be, I don't know. We're going to think good thoughts.
And neither do they, by the way.
Yeah,
they don't have a clue.
Right. And that's a big, and they're finally getting up in front of the cameras and admitting it, which is like a big thing. But the people that are going to pay the price are people, just the average guy and girl who's trying to get by and trying to live a life. And life is going to go on. I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world if interest rates stay where they're at for a while. People are still going to get married. They're still going to have babies. They're still going to live life. They're still going to have job transfers and things. People are still going to buy and sell houses. And they'll refi these loans, going forward somewhere along the line. Rates will get better. Refi, you pay the $1,000 and say, okay, well, I'll make that back within 4 years at this rate change. And people aren't as hesitant to do that now because they saw how well that worked.
Being that Century 21 is probably the most recognized trademark in the real estate business across the world, you guys at LeMac are able to have a grasp on what's going on nationwide.
Yes.
And this, you said a moment ago that this is not a local issue, it's a nationwide issue. What seems to be the trend outside of our area? Still the same type issues? The prices are coming back down a little bit? Prices
are going to come down some. It's just that it's more expensive to buy. It's not the cost of the house, not the price of the house. It's the cost of the house every month, what it costs you to be in there. And it's gone up, and so has everything else. So that's what's causing people to stop for a second and take a look and go, wait a minute, what are we going to do here? We talked a little bit last week as we were walking out the door, and I think it's something we need to mention real quick. What's the difference between a realtor and a real estate agent? Anybody can be, if you pass the test, you become that's what the test is for, that the state of Arkansas runs and every other state runs. A real estate agent is someone who's allowed to help people buy and sell real estate. A realtor, on the other hand, that's a trade, that's a business entity. Realtor has been around since 1908. It started in Chicago. They have led the way in real estate and how real estate is done, how members of our organization, it's like 1.4 million, I think I read, members that are realtors. The code of ethics, there's like 17 different headings in there and then a number of subheadings underneath that. Not really a cliff note type thing that you can go over, but it has to do with honesty and confidentiality. I mean, we learn things from people that their priests may not know. Yeah, and you have a fiduciary responsibility to keep that to yourself. Exactly, and you won't hear Bob at a cocktail party telling tales about, especially with no names anywhere. I may tell a tale here or two, but there's no way for you to know who it is I'm talking about. Those types of things are going to happen. But to be able to have the loyalty for a client that you have their best interest at heart, and everything that you do is for their benefit. Sometimes you try to do things for their good, and you try to tell them, look, this is really a gift from God. You need to give this a little more thought. And then sometimes people will say, well, we're going to pray on this a little bit. And then when God will tell them, hey, look, this was the gift that I sent you, was what Bob was trying to tell you. Those the type of things that we do to help people to make good informed decisions. It's not, excuse me, it was never about us. It's always about helping our people, and everything that we have since then comes from that. The money will take care of itself. Being there to help people, have them have that smile at the closing table, not have to be ducking from them in Walmart, that you're trying to hide from people. And realtors do that. We give back to the community. We have a great charitable arm that helps thousands of people throughout the country. We're one of the biggest groups as far as our political wing of getting things done in Congress. It has a big effect on the economy. Real estate is like the number one driver in the economy. There's nothing that affects the economy more than us. Maybe the military, but that's a whole. But even a lot of that comes from real estate. So when we go to Congress with a modification or something that we see as causing a problem within the country, within the economy, and they listen to that. They listen and go, yeah, okay, yeah, we didn't realize that when we passed this law that this was going to happen. Or they wanted to start putting sales taxes on houses. So it'd be like buying a car. And it's not. It's a totally different, it's a long-term investment that it is, and there's enough other fees that the government is able to tack on. And they stopped that from going through. And that made a big difference to everybody who buys a house. And we kind of forget, we do this every day. This is what we do. And you may buy a house, you may buy 3, maybe 4 houses during the course of a lifetime, most people. Now it's sped up a little bit, but it's going to slow down again. Yeah. We're going to go back to that. And because of that, with our knowledge of what we do every day, and you may have bought a house 10, 15 years ago, well, the market's totally different. Yeah. The jargon has changed. I mean, there's so many things, and you need somebody that's in your corner. We've seen some for sale by owner stuff that you kind of cringe, but there's nothing you can do about it unless you're there to represent that buyer. But it's money very, very well spent as a buyer's agent, and that's what we do to make sure that you're protected out there, because that seller's gone. He's in Poughkeepsie. Yeah. After closing. Yeah, you can sue and everything else, but it's a mess. Those never work out.
Speaking of buyers, we probably should look at some numbers.
We probably should. Let's see. I know that one. Oh, that one. Come on. Look at that. This week in real estate, there were 50. Sorry, Scoots. There were 53 new listings came on the market, 6 commercial properties, 25 parcels of land. 22 homes came on the market. They ranged in price from $39,000 to $1.3 million. 4 of those are taken backups. There were 38 sales, 2 commercial properties, 12 parcels of land, 24 homes sold. They ranged in price from $58,000 to $500,000. The average sale price this week was $232,000 with 62 days on market. Total of $5.5 million in residential real estate closed this week. So in that 62 days on market, people getting those mortgage rates locked in and get it closed right away before that rate goes up again. 11 properties expired. 24 had price changes. We haven't had double-digit price changes in a very long time. And to be at 24, that's a pretty big jump. There's still 102 pendings, and that's pretty good. Currently, we're at 185 homes, so we're up 13. For 2022, there's been 482 homes have sold for $105.6 million. Average sale price this year is $219,000 with 88 days on market. For 2021, there had been 487 homes that sold for $91.8 million. Average sale price was $188 with 97 days on market. So actually more homes sold year to date last year than this year, which will kind of give you an idea of how things are going.
How do they get you?
Call my honey. She's at 870-405-0793. The website's retiredtoarkansas.net. But give her a call. If you go to the office, ask for the Z team. If you call the office, ask for the Z team. But call Linda, 870-405-0793.
Thanks for joining us for This Week in Real Estate. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with This Week in Friday Sports.
Friday Sports.
Friday Sports. Be back.